240 essential adjectives in English that everyone should know. Happy.
A happy dog wagging its tail.
A happy reunion of long-lost friends.
Sad.
A sad movie that makes you cry.
A sad farewell at the airport.
Bright.
A bright sunny day.
A bright student who excels at math.
Dark.
A dark night with no stars.
A dark chocolate with a rich flavor.
Big.
A big elephant in the safari.
A big decision that changes everything.
Small.
A small ant carrying a leaf.
A small gesture of kindness.
Fast.
A fast race car zooming by.
A fast internet connection.
Slow.
A slow-moving snail.
A slow dance at a wedding.
Hot.
A hot cup of coffee in the morning.
A hot summer day at the beach.
Cold.
A cold ice cream cone on a sunny day.
A cold winter night.
Warm.
A warm blanket on a chilly evening.
A warm welcome from a friend.
Chilly.
A chilly morning breeze.
A chilly dip in a mountain lake.
Easy.
An easy math problem to solve.
An easy recipe for beginners.
Difficult.
A difficult mountain to climb.
A difficult puzzle to piece together.
Soft.
A soft pillow to rest your head.
A soft melody that soothes the soul.
Hard.
A hard rock that's tough to break.
A hard exam that requires a lot of study.
Heavy.
A heavy weight that's hard to lift.
A heavy heart filled with sorrow.
Light.
A light feather floating in the air.
A light rain that's refreshing.
Thick.
A thick forest with dense trees.
A thick woolen sweater for winter.
Thin.
A thin slice of cake.
A thin sheet of paper.
Rich.
A rich chocolate cake with layers of flavor.
A rich cultural heritage full of traditions.
Poor.
A poor village with limited resources.
A poor quality product that breaks easily.
Tall.
A tall skyscraper reaching for the clouds.
A tall basketball player who can dunk.
Short.
A short story that's quick to read.
A short haircut that's easy to manage.
Long.
A long journey across the country.
A long scarf wrapped around the neck.
Brief.
A brief meeting that ends quickly.
A brief moment of silence.
Young.
A young child learning to walk.
A young tree just starting to grow.
Old.
An old book with yellowed pages.
An old house with lots of character.
New.
A new car with the latest features.
A new chapter in life.
Ancient.
Ancient ruins from a lost civilization.
An ancient tradition passed down through generations.
Modern.
A modern smartphone with the latest technology.
A modern art museum featuring contemporary pieces.
Old-fashioned.
An old-fashioned rotary dial telephone.
An old-fashioned dress style from the 1950s.
Clean.
A clean kitchen countertop sparkling after being wiped.
A clean air filter improving indoor air quality.
Dirty.
Dirty laundry piled up in a basket.
Dirty dishes waiting to be washed in the sink.
Strong.
A strong bodybuilder lifting heavy weights.
A strong cup of coffee to start the day.
Weak.
A weak signal on a cell phone in a remote area.
A weak plant that needs more sunlight and water.
Loud.
A loud concert with speakers blaring music.
A loud thunderstorm with booming thunder.
Quiet.
A quiet library filled with people reading.
A quiet morning before the city wakes up.
Noisy.
A noisy construction site with heavy machinery.
A noisy classroom full of excited children.
Silent.
A silent moment of remembrance.
A silent snowfall in the winter woods.
Beautiful.
A beautiful sunset painting the sky with colors.
A beautiful garden full of blooming flowers.
Ugly.
An ugly scar from a past injury.
An ugly argument that leaves everyone feeling bad.
Good.
A good book that you can't put down.
A good deed that makes someone stay better.
Bad.
A bad haircut that doesn't look as planned.
A bad taste left from spoiled food.
Excellent.
An excellent performance by an athlete at the Olympics.
An excellent report card with top grades.
Terrible.
A terrible storm causing damage.
A terrible headache that won't go away.
Wonderful.
A wonderful vacation filled with adventure.
A wonderful surprise party for a friend.
Awful.
An awful smell coming from the trash.
An awful feeling of being sick.
Perfect.
A perfect score on a test.
A perfect day with clear skies and pleasant temperatures.
Flawed.
A flawed diamond with a visible inclusion.
A flawed plan that didn't consider all variables.
Interesting.
An interesting article about space exploration.
An interesting conversation with someone from a different culture.
Boring.
A boring lecture that puts you to sleep.
A boring routine that never changes.
Exciting.
An exciting roller coaster ride.
An exciting new project at work.
Dull.
A dull knife that can't cut properly.
A dull party where no one is talking.
Colorful.
A colorful mural on a city wall.
A colorful parade with costumes and floats.
Drab.
A drab office with beige walls.
A drab winter landscape devoid of color.
Shiny.
A shiny new car with a polished finish.
A shiny coin freshly minted.
Matte.
A matte finish on a photograph.
A matte painted wall with no gloss.
Smooth.
A smooth piece of silk fabric.
A smooth jazz tune that's easy to listen to.
Rough.
A rough sea with choppy waves.
A rough texture of a burlap sack.
Sharp.
A sharp knife that cuts through tomatoes effortlessly.
A sharp turn in the road that requires careful driving.
Blunt.
A blunt pencil that needs sharpening.
A blunt way of speaking that can seem rude.
Flat.
A flat tire that needs to be replaced.
A flat landscape with no hills or valleys.
Hilly.
A hilly terrain that makes for a challenging hike.
A hilly roller coaster track with lots of ups and downs.
Straight.
A straight road stretching into the horizon.
A straight line drawn with a ruler.
Curved.
A curved archway in a beautiful garden.
A curved banana that fits perfectly in the hand.
Round.
A round ball that rolls smoothly across the floor.
A round table that encourages conversation among guests.
Square.
A square window that lets in the morning light.
A square piece of paper used for origami.
Deep.
A deep well that provides water for the village.
A deep sleep that leaves you feeling refreshed.
Shallow.
A shallow puddle that dries up quickly.
A shallow bowl perfect for serving soup.
Wide.
A wide river that's difficult to cross.
A wide smile that shows genuine happiness.
Narrow.
A narrow alleyway between old buildings.
A narrow escape from a tricky situation.
Full.
A full moon lighting up the night sky.
A full stomach after a satisfying meal.
Empty.
An empty box that once held chocolates.
An empty theater after the show has ended.
Fragile.
A fragile glass vase that must be handled with care.
A fragile ecosystem that's sensitive to changes.
Durable.
A durable backpack that lasts for years.
A durable pair of jeans that doesn't wear out easily.
Flexible.
A flexible gymnast performing a routine.
A flexible work schedule that allows for personal time.
Rigid.
A rigid set of rules that must be followed.
A rigid metal rod that doesn't bend.
Transparent.
A transparent window pane through which you can see the world.
A transparent piece of plastic wrap.
Opaque.
An opaque curtain that blocks out the light.
An opaque bottle that hides its contents.
Visible.
Visible stars in the night sky.
Visible wear and tear on a well-used book.
Invisible.
Invisible gases that make up the air we breathe.
Invisible ink that requires a special light to be seen.
High.
A high mountain peak covered with snow.
A high note sung by an opera singer.
Low.
A low valley nestled between mountains.
A low hum of a refrigerator.
Huge.
A huge elephant towering over the safari jeep.
A huge crowd gathered for the concert.
Tiny.
A tiny ant carrying a crumb.
A tiny bead used in a piece of jewelry.
Massive.
A massive ship that can carry thousands of containers.
A massive oak tree that's centuries old.
Minute.
A minute detail that's easy to overlook.
A minute amount of a chemical in a solution.
Gigantic.
A gigantic billboard that can be seen from miles away.
A gigantic wave surfed by a brave athlete.
Petite.
A petite person who is gracefully small in stature.
A petite serving size at a fancy restaurant.
Enormous.
An enormous stadium filled with thousands of fans.
An enormous tree that's been growing for hundreds of years.
Microscopic.
Microscopic bacteria that can only be seen under a microscope.
Microscopic particles of dust floating in the air.
Vast.
The vast expanse of the Sahara Desert.
The vast universe full of stars and galaxies.
Limited.
Limited edition collectibles that are rare to find.
Limited seating available for a popular concert.
Boundless.
The boundless energy of a young child.
The boundless creativity of an artist.
Restricted.
Restricted access areas in a government building.
Restricted diet for medical reasons.
Infinite.
The infinite possibilities of the future.
The infinite beauty of a starry night sky.
Finite.
Finite resources that need to be conserved.
A finite amount of time to complete a test.
Immense.
The immense pressure deep in the ocean.
An immense library with thousands of books.
Minuscule.
A minuscule chance of winning the lottery.
A minuscule error in a large dataset.
Spacious.
A spacious living room with plenty of space for guests.
A spacious park where children can play freely.
Cramped.
A cramped elevator during rush hour.
A cramped airplane seat on a long flight.
Cozy.
A cozy cabin with a warm fireplace.
A cozy neck perfect for reading a book.
Generous.
A generous portion of food at a restaurant.
A generous donation to a charity.
Stingy.
A stingy tip left for excellent service.
A stingy use of spices in a bland dish.
Kind.
A kind word to someone having a bad day.
A kind gesture of helping an elderly neighbor.
Cruel.
A cruel joke that hurts someone's feelings.
Cruel treatment of animals that is inhumane.
Friendly.
A friendly dog that greets everyone it meets.
A friendly competition among friends.
Hostile.
A hostile takeover bid in the corporate world.
A hostile environment that's unwelcoming.
Humid.
A humid summer day that makes you sweat.
A humid greenhouse perfect for tropical plants.
Dry.
A dry desert with little to no rainfall.
A dry sense of humor that's subtly witty.
Wet.
Wet paint that hasn't dried yet.
Wet grass from the morning dew.
Moist.
Moist chocolate cake that's deliciously rich.
Moist soil that's ideal for planting.
Arid.
An arid climate with scarce water sources.
An arid landscape where few plants grow.
Soaked.
Soaked clothes after being caught in the rain.
Soaked sponges full of water.
Damp.
Damp towels left in a heap on the floor.
A damp basement with a musty smell.
Saturated.
Saturated fats that are solid at room temperature.
A saturated market where demand has been fully met.
Parched.
Parched lips from dehydration.
Parched fields in need of rain.
Flooded.
A flooded basement after heavy rains.
Flooded rice paddies that are ready for planting.
Lush.
A lush rainforest with diverse wildlife.
Lush green lawns that are well maintained.
Barren.
A barren desert landscape with no signs of life.
A barren tree in winter, devoid of leaves.
Fertile.
A fertile valley that yields abundant crops.
A fertile imagination that comes up with endless ideas.
Sterile.
A sterile laboratory environment free from contaminants.
A sterile medical instrument ready for surgery.
Productive.
A productive meeting that results in actionable items.
A productive garden that produces a variety of vegetables.
Unproductive.
An unproductive day where nothing seems to get done.
An unproductive piece of land that doesn't support crops.
Abundant.
An abundant harvest that fills the storehouses.
Abundant wildlife in a thriving ecosystem.
Scarce.
Scarce resources in a drought-stricken area.
Scarce opportunities in a competitive field.
Plentiful.
Plentiful fish in a well-stocked lake.
Plentiful seating at a large venue.
Meager.
A meager meal that barely satisfies hunger.
Meager wages that are not enough to live on.
Sufficient.
Sufficient evidence to support a theory.
Sufficient funds to cover the expenses.
Insufficient.
Insufficient data to draw a conclusion.
Insufficient staffing for the workload.
Adequate.
Adequate shelter to protect from the elements.
Adequate lighting for reading.
Inadequate.
Inadequate preparation for a major exam.
Inadequate heating in a cold climate.
Ample.
Ample space in a parking lot.
Ample time to finish a project.
Sparse.
Sparse attendance at an early morning class.
Sparse vegetation in a rocky terrain.
Teeming.
A forest floor teeming with insects and small creatures.
A city street teeming with busy pedestrians.
Desolate.
A desolate abandoned building with no signs of life.
A desolate stretch of highway with no other cars.
Crowded.
A crowded subway car during rush hour.
A crowded beach on a hot summer day.
Vacant.
Vacant lots waiting to be developed.
Vacant stares from a bored audience.
Bustling.
A bustling marketplace with vendors selling their goods.
A bustling airport terminal full of travelers.
Active.
An active volcano that could erupt at any time.
An active child who is always on the move.
Idle.
An idle factory that has been shut down.
An idle mind that isn't being challenged.
Lively.
A lively party with music and dancing.
A lively debate on a controversial topic.
Lifeless.
A lifeless mannequin in a store window.
A lifeless landscape on a barren planet.
Vibrant.
A vibrant painting full of bright colors.
A vibrant community with active members.
Dynamic.
A dynamic speaker who engages the audience.
A dynamic economy with rapid growth.
Static.
A static display in a museum.
Static noise on a radio with poor reception.
Energetic.
An energetic workout that leaves you feeling invigorated.
An energetic puppy that runs around the house.
Exhausted.
Exhausted runners at the end of a marathon.
Exhausted resources after years of overuse.
Vigorous.
Vigorous growth in a well-tended garden.
A vigorous debate with passionate participants.
Lethargic.
A lethargic sloth moving slowly through the trees.
Feeling lethargic after a large, heavy meal.
Sprightly.
A sprightly dance routine full of energy.
A sprightly elderly person who stays active.
Sluggish.
Feeling sluggish in the morning before coffee.
A sluggish computer that takes forever to load.
Nimble.
A nimble gymnast performing complex routines.
Nimble fingers playing a fast piano piece.
Clumsy.
A clumsy puppy tripping over its own feet.
A clumsy attempt at ice skating for the first time.
Agile.
An agile cheetah sprinting across the savannah.
An agile mind able to solve problems quickly.
Awkward.
An awkward silence during a conversation.
An awkward hug with someone you just met.
Graceful.
A graceful swan gliding on the lake.
A graceful ballet dancer moving across the stage.
Gauche.
A gauche remark that offends the dinner guests.
Wearing a gauche outfit to a formal event.
Elegant.
An elegant evening gown at a gala.
An elegant solution to a complex problem.
Tacky.
Tacky decorations at an overdone party.
A tacky souvenir that's more gaudy than tasteful.
Tasteful.
A tasteful piece of jewelry that complements an outfit.
A tasteful renovation of a historic home.
Tasteless.
A tasteless joke that falls flat.
Tasteless wallpaper that clashes with the home decor.
Chic.
A chic cafe with a modern vibe.
A chic haircut that's all the rage.
Dowdy.
A dowdy dress that's out of style.
A dowdy office with outdated furniture.
Fashionable.
A fashionable crowd at a runway show.
Wearing a fashionable hat that's in vogue.
Outdated.
An outdated phone that can't run new apps.
Outdated laws that need to be revised.
Stylish.
A stylish apartment with modern decor.
A stylish pair of shoes that turns heads.
Frumpy.
A frumpy sweater that's big and shapeless.
A frumpy look that lacks polish and effort.
Trendy.
A trendy bar that everyone wants to visit.
A trendy slang term that's suddenly everywhere.
Pass.
A passé catchphrase that's no longer cool.
Past technology that's been replaced by newer models.
Classic.
A classic car that never goes out of style.
A classic novel that's read for generations.
Vintage.
Vintage clothing from a bygone era.
A vintage wine that's aged to perfection.
Contemporary.
Contemporary music that reflects today's culture.
A contemporary building with a cutting-edge design.
Timeless.
A timeless love story that resonates with all ages.
Timeless wisdom that applies to many life situations.
Dated.
Dated special effects in an old movie.
A dated hairstyle that screams the 1980s.
Fresh.
Fresh produce straight from the farm.
A fresh perspective on a common problem.
Stale.
Stale bread that's been left out too long.
Stale air in a room that needs ventilation.
Pristine.
A pristine beach untouched by tourists.
A pristine condition comic book that's highly valuable.
Sullied.
A reputation sullied by scandal.
Clothes sullied by a muddy walk.
Immaculate.
An immaculate white dress without a single stain.
An immaculate garden with every flower in perfect bloom.
Tarnished.
Tarnished silverware that has lost its shine.
A reputation tarnished by a public scandal.
Spotless.
A spotless kitchen where everything is in its place.
A spotless record with no history of infractions.
Gleaming.
Gleaming hardwood floors that reflect the light.
A gleaming trophy displayed in a case.
Dingy.
A dingy motel room that hasn't been cleaned properly.
Dingy old curtains that used to be white.
Polished.
Polished marble countertops that shine elegantly.
A polished performance by a professional musician.
Smudged.
A window smudged with fingerprints.
A letter with smudged ink from a raindrop.
Glistening.
Glistening dew on the grass at dawn.
A glistening snow-covered landscape.
Grimy.
Grimy hands after working on a car engine.
A grimy stovetop after cooking a big meal.
Sparkling.
Sparkling clean dishes after being washed.
Sparkling eyes full of excitement and joy.
Radiant.
A radiant bride on her wedding day.
A radiant sunset that fills the sky with colors.
Gloomy.
A gloomy day with overcast skies and drizzle.
A gloomy expression that conveys sadness.
Luminous.
Luminous plankton that lights up the ocean waves.
A luminous moon casting a soft glow at night.
Shadowy.
A shadowy figure lurking in the alley.
A shadowy corner of a dimly lit room.
Bright.
A bright flashlight that pierces the darkness.
A bright student who excels in their studies.
Dim.
A dim light bulb that barely illuminates the room.
A dim memory that's hard to recall.
Brilliant.
A brilliant diamond that sparkles with light.
A brilliant idea that solves a complex problem.
Faded.
Faded jeans that have been worn many times.
A faded photograph from many years ago.
Vivid.
A vivid dream that feels almost real.
Vivid colors in a child's drawing.
Pale.
A pale blue sky at dawn.
A pale imitation of the original artwork.
Colorful.
A colorful parade with costumes and floats.
A colorful array of fruits and vegetables at the market.
Colorless.
A colorless liquid in a chemistry experiment.
A colorless world in a black and white photograph.
Vibrant.
A vibrant city life full of energy and diversity.
Vibrant flowers that attract bees and butterflies.
Bold.
A bold fashion statement that stands out.
A bold move in a chess game that surprises the opponent.
Subtle.
A subtle hint that's easy to miss.
A subtle flavor in a complex dish.
Flamboyant.
A flamboyant performer with an extravagant costume.
Flamboyant handwriting with lots of flourishes.
Reserved.
A reserved sign on a table at a restaurant.
A reserved person who doesn't share much about themselves.
Extravagant.
An extravagant wedding with hundreds of guests.
Extravagant spending on luxury items.
Modest.
A modest home that's cozy and comfortable.
A modest dress that's simple but elegant.
Luxurious.
A luxurious hotel room with a plush bed and fine linens.
A luxurious fur coat that's soft and warm.
Spartan.
A Spartan lifestyle that focuses on minimalism and discipline.
A Spartan office with only the essentials for work.
Opulent.
An opulent mansion with luxurious furnishings.
An opulent banquet with extravagant dishes.
Austere.
An austere monk who lives a life of simplicity.
An austere design that is beautiful in its starkness.
Lavish.
A lavish party with no expense spared.
Lavish gifts that are rich and expensive.
Economical.
An economical car that saves on gas.
An economical meal plan that reduces waste.
Sumptuous.
A sumptuous velvet gown.
A sumptuous 5-course meal.
Plain.
A plain white t-shirt without any logos.
A plain piece of toast with no toppings.
Ornate.
An ornate chandelier with intricate details.
Ornate calligraphy on a wedding invitation.
Symbol.
A simple solution to a common problem.
A simple melody that's easy to sing.
Elaborate.
An elaborate wedding ceremony with many traditions.
An elaborate costume for a theatrical performance.
Basic.
Basic necessities like food, water, and shelter.
A basic understanding of a subject.
Complex.
A complex mathematical equation with multiple variables.
A complex character in a novel with a rich backstory.
Intricate.
An intricate lace pattern on a dress.
An intricate puzzle that takes hours to solve.
Uncomplicated.
An uncomplicated friendship that's easy and comfortable.
An uncomplicated recipe with just a few ingredients.
Complicated.
A complicated relationship with many ups and downs.
A complicated board game with lots of rules.
Challenging.
A challenging hiking trail that tests your endurance.
A challenging job that requires all your skills.
Effortless.
An effortless performance that looks easy but requires skill.
An effortless conversation that flows naturally.
Arduous.
An arduous journey through rough terrain.
An arduous task that requires a lot of effort.
Convenient.
A convenient online shopping experience.
A convenient location that's close to everything.
Inconvenient.
An inconvenient time for a meeting.
An inconvenient delay that disrupts your plans.
Accessible.
An accessible website that's easy to navigate.
An accessible teacher who's always willing to help.
Inaccessible.
An inaccessible mountain peak that's hard to reach.
An inaccessible book that's out of print.
Melancholic.
A melancholic song that evokes a sense of sadness.
A melancholic mood on a rainy day.
Joyous.
A joyous celebration with laughter and dancing.
A joyous occasion like the birth of a baby.
Featherlight.
A featherlight touch that's gentle and soft.
A featherlight pastry that's airy and delicate.
Bulky.
A bulky sweater that's big and warm.
Bulky equipment that's hard to move.
Solid.
A solid piece of oak furniture.
A solid relationship built on trust.
Plush.
A plush velvet sofa that's soft to the touch.
A plush hotel room with luxurious amenities.
Brisk.
A brisk walk that gets your heart rate up.
The brisk air of an autumn morning.
Toasty.
A toasty fireplace that warms the room.
Toasty socks that keep your feet warm in winter.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and support us with likes and comments.